Hey guys, Sonia from Napalm Records here. We are here doing the Women Who Rock panel with members of Nervosa, Mortillery, and Jinjer. Say hi, guys.
Hello. Hello.
So basically, the reason why we're doing this is because, Napalm has a lot of female fronted bands, and we kind of have a niche in the industry as women who listen to metal, and women who play metal, and women who work in metal. Um, So, what we wanted to do is we wanted to discuss some of the struggles and some of the benefits that all of us have experienced in this industry and in metal and why we love it so much despite being still kind of a minority. So, let's get into it. What does it mean to each of you to be a woman in metal? Fernanda, you want to start?
Okay, so to me, like being now, like not only being a woman, but being now in like my life, because like of course I'm a girl, but deep down I'm just a metalhead doing what I love. So it makes like my life. Everything I have nowadays, what I'm doing for all everywhere I'm traveling, all my friends, everything I have, like I got it because of metal. So I'm really thankful. So yeah, just very happy.
Good. Good answer. Mortillery, what are your thoughts?
Go. Yeah, I'm just same thing. I'm really happy to be involved in it. I guess it means the same thing as a guy being in metal. Like I don't know. I feel like we're pretty lucky in Canada. Like we don't really notice a difference. Like we just kind of feel like one of the guys. So we're pretty stoked about that. And yeah.
Tatiana?
Uh, Personally, for me, it is really important to be a part of metal scene, and as vocalist, and it doesn't matter what gender I am, and it's important because as vocalist, I have a lot to say, to the audience, and moreover. I think metal music is music for the strong. So um, I like really bringing new flavors into metal. Constantly playing on contrasts, and I like to be a follower and innovator at the same time. So and it's really cool to play music you always loved professionally.
That's
Yeah.
that's awesome, and that's so true. I mean, there seems to be a lot of differentiation, and female fronted metal, so to speak, has really become a genre in itself, and a lot of people don't necessarily see that as a positive thing. Um, they see it as more just another differentiation between, you know, the genders in metal when really we should be uniting. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I don't actually mind like being called like all female thrash metal band or like female fronted metal band because I think pretty much everything has been done already in metal and we nowadays we use I don't know like labels to make to make things different. For example, when there was like their that boom of like folk metal, like metal with like violin and stuff like that. So everyone called that like folk metal because it was something new and they just wanted to label that. So I think what happens with like this label that we have like for all female band, all female from it's just I take it more as a way to to distinguish from the other band because it's still something new. Of course, there's more and more, and I'm really proud of that. There's more and more girls involved in metal, not only in bands, but like promoting events and in media and everything. But still, it's something different. Numerically speaking, it's the fact that you're Latin metal. So I think it's still something new, and everything that's new kind of draws attention. So I think it's just a way to distinguish. Like, okay, this band is a little different because it's, okay, all girls playing like extreme metal, or there's like for example, artillery, a girl singing, a girl playing guitar, it's still something different, because we're still kind of used to having like to sing more like all the guys band and stuff like that. Although it's growing, and I just take it as as like the gender. I just think it's a way of labeling that. I'm always cool with my character.
I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. Miranda, Cara, any thoughts?
I actually didn't really know that it was thought of as a genre, to be honest.
Me neither.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I actually kind of don't like it, actually, that it's thought of as a genre. I just want to play music, and I think my genre shouldn't really matter. Like, I don't think that it does. Like, I think that if you're good at your job and you're good at what you do and you like what you do, it shouldn't really matter what genre you are. And I think that people calling it a genre just brings more attention to it and makes it harder for women to be equal. That's what I think.
Definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, totally agree. And as for me, indeed, we shouldn't separate like music as a genre, as a female-fronted band. What the hell is this? And bands shouldn't I don't know, be differentiated as a vocalist genres, And today I came to an idea that vocalists are like vocals. They are musical instruments, right? And I think it doesn't have gender at all. It's stupid, and it's quite strange for me, for Ukrainian girl, to hear about this discrimination, or I don't know, this distinguishing.
Yeah, because I don't hear about it either.
Yeah, I have never heard about it, and I feel quite comfortable here in Ukraine. And as we travel a lot around Europe and Russia, we have never faced this problem, But it sounds very barbaric. I don't know.
Yeah, we've never really had that problem either. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, that's couldn't hear here.
It's not that I agree also with separating like music by gender. I really don't agree with that also, but I just don't mind. I think it's it's a way of saying like this. So the same way it's different. It's saying like folk, metal, or like this. I don't know. I just think like people usually use it as a way to to use it as a label. But it's not that I agree with that. I think metal, it's universal, and it's not about gender. It's not about anything like that. It's about music, That's what I think. That's why I agree with you, but still, I don't mind all your impressions. Because deep down, that's what we are, like three girls playing thrash metal. But still, I also think like metal, it's not about gender or anything. Metal's about music, because deep down, the only thing that differs us is like the sex, the gender, but we all have like the same like metal blood running in our veins, because that's it. That's what it is actually. I just don't mind it.
Yeah, let's leave female fronted as a tag, but not more, not a gender.
Yeah. I don't think it's something that. Yeah, I think it's a tag, exactly. Not something that should separate us. Like, okay, this festival only girls are only good. It's just a tag.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And I mean, I think a lot of people do utilize it to find new bands. I think especially young women utilize it to find new bands and to find people who inspire them to feel like they are a part of the genre. So that kind of brings us to our next question. Were there any women in metal who, when you were younger, inspired you to get into the genre?
Definitely. I mean, I'm all excited to talk about it. Since I was a kid, like my dad's a metalhead, so I've been listening to lots of like stuff from the 80s. And since I was a child, I was listening to metal, and I've always like since my earliest memories, I used to love like every time I saw like girls in metal or in art or whatever they would do, and I always felt really excited and inspired by them. So I think the greatest idols to me would be like the girls from Girls School. Like my dad loves them, and I would listen to them a lot, and I was like, oh my god, I so want to be like them. Because like they were in the 90s, and they were like the girl and stuff like that, and they would have like the craziest parties. I know like some crazy stories in there, and as musicians, they are like super cool. I'm so oh my god, I still want to be so cool. But there's also like lots of other groups that inspire me. Like for example, Darmesh from Marvel, and Leather Leon played in Jason in the 80s. And there's actually in the 80s, there's lots of bands from Ice Age and rock, Scottish, and stuff like that. So I'm more like the bands from the 70s, 80s. Yeah, metal, like deserves it in metal by that time. They really inspired me. And they really, they were really inspirational to, like to show me that because most of the bands that my dad listened were like guys playing, and of course I loved them, but I didn't feel like very much represented, So when I saw these girls, when I was first presented to them, I was like, oh my god, I like them so much, I want to be like them and stuff like that, and these were the men. Of course, there's lots more, like even like Nadia, like she's a badass singer, and like she also makes me feel like represented in metal in a way. So I think they all contributed. If I'm playing metal today, most of it was because of them. They really showed me, okay, it's okay to be a girl, and it's okay to be a metalhead, and it's okay to kick ass. That's the message.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's keep going down the line like this. It seems to work out well. What do you guys think?
Sorry, we didn't catch that.
I think we'll keep going down the line from left to right like this. I'm not sure if your screen is formatted the same way.
Okay.
As mine, but yeah, I mean this seems to be a good system. What are your guys' thoughts?
For us?
Yes.
I'd say Girls School. Like, yeah, that's my vote. I love Girls School, and they're the only, I think, female musicians back in the day that probably gave me any inspiration, other than there's Dawn Crosby from Detente, and
Wendy O.
Wendy O. Williams as well.
Yeah,
That's
Wendy O.
more
Williams,
punk,
for
but
sure.
still super awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually, to be honest, I didn't really have, like, I grew up listening to 80s metal, like Grim Reaper and Annihilator and stuff like that, and I didn't really know about, I guess, like, a lot of women in metal at that time. Like, when I was kind of, 13, kind of getting into it, I didn't really realize that, women were around doing that. But yeah, I guess Wendy O. Williams was one that I did know about at an early age. And Lita Ford, she's not really metal, but yeah, I think she was a big one for me, I think, as well.
Yeah. Well, as for me, I think everything started from the time when I was 16, I guess, or 15, doesn't matter. I first heard about OTEP. I think everybody knows about it. And that's when the problem of gender just was vanished. Because, first of all, I thought, damn, that dude was awesome. And my friend told me that, oh, come on, Tati, it's a girl. Oh my God, I want to do like her, And I started to practice, and there are a lot of inspirations, There are numerous, and actually they are from 90s, I was never a fan of old school music. I mean, metal music from uh, female fronted, okay. And but I really liked Holy Moses.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, but I don't know. Nowadays, I just stopped listening to metal. Sorry, and now I just listen to jazz, blues, soul. Yeah, that's why
But
metal. I'm enough metal on stage, and just for my soul and for my mind, I like now to be a little bit relaxed with jazz, something lighter.
which it's pretty okay. I'm also like really apart from metal, I'm also really influenced by a lot of other like women that sing, especially in the blues and jazz and soul. And I have like many other girls that inspire me, and they actually taught me the technique that I also use like to sing thrash metal in a different way, which is
Yeah.
like breathing stuff. So for example, like I have some personal goddesses apart from metal, which are like Etta James, like Amy Winehouse, and Aretha Franklin, and Simone, and Dinah Washington. I listen to all of these women because they're so like they were really apart from being like awesome like singers and writers and everything, they were really important at their time in some way. And also to inspire other women, also by being activists from some stuff. Like for example, we know like Nina Simone. Not only did she was like unique on vocals, but she was also an activist with like the Black people's rights and stuff like that. And I think this is really important too. So I think they inspire me like these people that are not like these singers, that are not like metalheads, they're not in the metal scene, but they also inspire me not only like for this kind of thing, but by their attitude, like by being activists, by being, like by being against like all rules of society, and like Etta James was like in the 50s and 60s, and she would be like in LA, where she would be like the only girl, and she was so bad and everything. So I think this role of like inspiration represents something to the women also at that time. I think this is really part. It doesn't matter if it's metal or not. And I really feel that she's right. You're also
Yeah. By the way, respect for Amy Winehouse, because look at her. Well, she's definitely a metal girl, just not singing metal.
exactly.
Yeah, it's an attitude, it's a behavior. Them.
Yeah, exactly.
I love
which I think is also important. Like some people like say, "Why are you making me laugh?" And like her not only because of this, but also we know that like society had all these rules for girls. They have to be like, like tiny and girly and everything. And she was the complete opposite. We have like pictures of her like playing like snooker with like a cigarette on her hand, like a titty showing off, and she didn't give a fuck. I think this is kind of cool too. You're saying like fuck to what everyone is saying. This is important. I think this is about like being free to be about whatever they feel like being.
And speaking of which, you made a very good point about your technique and stuff, and employing certain aspects that other female singers before had used to help your screaming. Now, we're in a pretty unique situation here where we've got 3 female-fronted bands, so to speak, to use that term again, all of whom use not clean vocals, all of whom have screaming. And that is so cool. There seems to be some stigma of, like you said, with OTEP, like, you listen to it and you're like, oh yeah, that's a dude screaming. That's totally just a guy. And then you find out that it's a chick. And what has basically been your strategy in terms of learning your technique and making your technique yours, in terms of your vocals?
Well, Nervosa is actually the first band that I sing this way. I don't have like any background in singing like this because what what I like. I started singing when I was like 13, and I always sang some like clean vocal, like Wind Ride and Halloween and stuff like that. And later, like this blues jazz thing. So Nervosa is the first. Although I always loved like thrash and death metal, but just for singing, I always felt like singing like clean stuff. But for Nervosa, the thing is like my previous band, I was doing like backing vocals, but I was basically like screams, you know, like they didn't have any technique. But then I took the challenge when I got into Nervosa, like okay, I think they like when we started then they would need like a bassist and a singer. I was like, okay, I think I can try and do both. Let's see. And then I started like with no technique. I never took classes, and I think this happens with many of me, you know, like people who sing and just trying to learn like by listening to stuff and things like that. So yeah, what I would do is like listening to my favorite guys on crawling, and that I felt would be like similar to what I was trying to do. It would be like Chuck Schuldiner and that. Don't target on Mortillery. They're like my main influences. They have this rally that I like very much. And I was just like trying to listen to them, trying to, you know, like I would watch some videos and see like the moves they would do with their mouths and everything to see like if it would help me, the way they breathe and stuff like that. And that's how mainly I developed my technique. I mean, I'm not like a super professional. Yeah, I mean, I don't have like, I don't know much. I just sing the way, what I basically learned was like singing the way I, you know. So I think my technique is kind of there. It's kind of like this, like to explore what I can do and ways I can speak, being comfortable without like fucking for doing stuff. So that's how I develop my technique. Listening to my favorite guys and trying not to hurt my voice, things like that. But no big deal. I don't even have money to
Right. Welcome to the club.
Cara, your thoughts?
I never had any singing lessons either when I started, and I think I was probably about 21 when I started, and a friend of mine, we just were talking one day, you know, it'd be cool to like start a thrash metal band, and I was like, oh well, you know, I bet you I could sing, and I'm sure I sounded like a banshee at that time, but you know, I knew what I was supposed to sound like and what I wanted to sound like, and I'm sure it was my vocal cords probably hated me for a few years at first, because I'm sure I was doing everything wrong, but yeah, it just kind of, you know, it took me a while to really get stamina to do the really long ones and develop technique. I'm sure, yeah, definitely I was doing it wrong at first, and yeah, I just kind of would listen to people. Like I do clean stuff and kind of a mix too. Like I think a good example of that, I guess, would be Sebastian Bach. Like I love Skid Row, and I listen to a lot of their stuff, and even like Dissection. Like I love that guy's scream. Like it's just so intense, and yeah, just listening to people, and eventually, you know, like years later, like it probably took me, I don't know, like at least 6-7 years later, I finally, you know, sound what I like, how I wanted to sound, and you know, really, I probably should have taken some singing lessons because it would probably have helped me a lot, and you know, but yeah, I guess that's kind of my story about that.
Okay, as for me, well, actually, after I heard Alt-Tap, well, I started to practice, and it was quite weird, and it may sound quite funny, but I used to go to the forest, and it was winter actually, and it was 20
like
degrees.
Video.
Yeah. Well, it sounds quite shitty, but and it was
Awesome.
20 degrees below zero, and mama, I was screaming. I don't know because of what, maybe because of the cold, but that sound quite crappy, you know. And I understand that I should work it out, and even after 10 years, it's more than 10 years already, and I'm still improving my skills. And Fernanda, you were talking about getting some metal singer as example, right? And the example for me is Randy Blythe from Lamb of God. I tried at first, I tried to imitate. Okay, let's call it imitate. And when at some festival you hear from the sound engineer, well, that girl sounds like Randy Blythe. Like, well, okay, I do right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. So still, and I try to imagine that I have two throats as I sing clean also, and I have to switch quickly from one technique to another. So I try to imagine that I have two throats and try not to damage none of them. So
which I think I really appreciate these new girls, because this for me was super hard. I really have my most appreciation, and I feel like leaders that can do clean, both clean and raspy voice, because to me it's just very difficult. It takes a lot of technique, and I'm so proud. You really sound great, and it's great that you can do this without hurting your
thanks a lot.
Really, because I have no tunes parts since I was 13 years old, because I tried to sing opera and stuff like that. I was 13.
Cool.
And I didn't have any technique, so I got to when I was 21 and I went to the doctor and I had no tunes in both sides of my vocal parts.
Oh.
So nowadays, I have to do a lot of warm-ups before and after the show. And if I do a show with my graspy voice, really, it's really hard for me to switch to my clean voice.
Yeah.
It gets it gets days. I take days. The same when I'm singing clean for a while, and when I want to do it gets hard. It's difficult. It takes me a while because of this condition, But you gotta learn to live like that. With that, I learned. But I really glad the next can actually achieve that.
Thanks.
So all of you guys have new records out. Fernanda Nervosa has Agony out. Jinjer has King of Everything out. Mortillery has Shapeshifter. 3 incredible records. Let's give each of you guys a chance to talk about them just real fast. Give us a brief summary of what the recording process was like and what you're proud of with these albums.
Okay. I know I'm a chatterbox. I'm sorry. I'll try to make it.
No, it's good. It's good.
I speak a lot. I'm sorry.
Well, someone should be.
Yeah.
I'm always like this. So, this new album we have, it was a great step up for us, personally as a band, because, we're 3 fucked up metalheads from Brazil, and it's really hard just to make a living there, and being a metalhead there is even harder. And we always had this dream of record this album outside of the country or whatever. And then we actually got the chance, and we got a tour going on in February, March in the US. Then we thought maybe we could get the chance and we could our best, try and make it to record it there in the US, and we actually did. We recorded the album in California and Oregon, and that was a pretty much step up for us. We're really, really happy, a dream for us, and that actually helped, getting the right energy, the right vibe to recording the song, because we would be so happy to be making this dream come true that we would wake up and 7 a.m. every morning and oh my god, I can't wait to record this song. We would be super stoked 24 hours a day to record the album. And I think that contributed for the album to be a little bit different from the previous one. This album, because we had a new drummer on this album, it's way different from the the other ones. She was a very technique, very aggressive drummer, and unfortunately she's not as good as Squid a week ago. But still, she did a great job on the album. If the album is like rawer, like more aggressive than the other one is this movie. And if comparing to the last album, I think it's more aggressive. We were listening to a lot of death metal when we wrote it down. So I think that's why it's better. Yeah, that's pretty much. That's agony.
Great. Who's next?
Let's hear a little bit about Shapeshifter.
Well, I think that we're all really happy about this album. This album, I think we all actually tried to like sit down and actually write songs. And we're all like really stoked on this album. There's not one song on this album that we don't like, so we love them. And I think we took a little bit of aspects from like everything. Like there's like a little bit of black metal and thrash metal and punk and like even power metal, hardcore. There's like everything in this album, and we all love it. We all pull from different genres, and we all have like different influences. We love this album. I don't know. We worked really hard, and we're really proud of it.
Yeah, it's yeah, definitely. Like I think that we're all like all of our influences in our band. Like everyone's really different, and I think that you can really capture that when you listen to it. Like there's so many different genres in there. Like it's still all around thrash metal, I think, but it definitely pulls a bit from all the other genres, which we like to support because. For me anyway, metal is like I like so many different kinds of metal, and really I really want to unite everybody. It's a lot of fun that way.
Yeah.
And then we started recording in Portland. We did a lot of it there. We recorded with Joel Grind from Toxicology Class, which was awesome. He's a super fun guy to work with. And then we finished it up here with our regular guy that did the last couple albums for us. So yeah, it was fun. Like I think it really pushed all of us, and I always like a push. Like when I'm recording, I actually don't really like recording, but I like to be pushed. I like to do things that I can't do right now. And then eventually I'll get good at it because I think that's how you become a better musician. So, yeah, I think this album was a push for everybody in the sound. It came together.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, talking about King of Everything, that actually was the first album on Napalm Records, and actually the first album out of underground. And as you, Miranda, said, this is the same situation. We had a mixing of progressive, hardcore, groove, jazz, blues, funk. Well, if you heard Beggar's Dance, that's actually the last song from our album. It's sounds like a joke, big joke. That's because there's no metal. It doesn't sound like metal at all, but still. Well, we had much fun really mixing it, and as I told before, we always play on contrast, so this is the perfect example of this. And breaking, and it's also breaking through the US. Yeah. So it's always so pleasant to know that it is spreading around the world.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, 3 absolutely incredible albums, and we at Napalm are so proud to have them. Just awesome job, guys. Last but not least, we have a fan question. This is from Liam Morrison. What advice would you give to bands trying to break out of their local scene where their genre isn't prevalent? Let's go back down the line. Fernanda?
Okay. I think it doesn't matter if like you're because for example in Brazil, like of course we have like a huge family thing, but still it's not the main thing there, you know. So I think the main tip that I give to every band and everyone who makes music, doesn't matter what genre they're playing, is just to keep up to what you believe. You know, like just stick to what you believe and to what you like. Because I see like some people trying to adjust themselves to what the market wants, or adjust themselves to what like the media wants, or to what like the trend wants. And I think this is the bad way to go, especially if you're playing metal. I think the more honest what you I think the more honest what you're doing is, the more people will be honest, and the more people like it and support it. Because especially in metal, because the metal scene is a very demanding thing. Like metalheads, they know what they want. They know what's fake. They know what's real. They know what's good. They know what's bad. And I think if you stick to what you believe and what you like to do, if you're honest with your believe to be good to you, I think you can feel it, and they're listening to the song, and I think therefore they will support you, or you just whatever. I guess that's my only tip, and work your ass. That's basically the second thing, because you want no one. There's no magic in making like a band succeed or a band to stand out, except for like I know like all of you guys work your asses off to make your band do anything. Like being honest to what you believe and working on being able to leave many things aside in order to kind of live the dream you believe. I think these are the two. And the third one is be
Here, Fernanda, you're kind of breaking up a little bit, so let's.
Yeah, we can't really hear you.
It's okay. The beauty of touring. Let's move on. Do you guys?
What's that? Sorry? Our turn? Okay, well, I'll just start again. I think the biggest thing is do what you want. Don't do what anybody else wants. Music is not to please somebody else. Music is to please yourself. Do whatever the fuck you want. Like, if you are not doing something that you like, you shouldn't be doing it. And, if, like, I can tell if, when I go and see a band and there's one guy that's, he kind of is like, not digging it, it's like, that ruins it, so, yeah, people see that, and it's like, do whatever the fuck you want, and screw everything else, and I think, I think that's so important, like music is fun, it's not about pleasing people, like, if the whole world hated my band, I'd still do it exactly the same way. And I think, yeah, you can definitely tell if people are faking it or just doing it for, whatever.
Even if people don't like your band, like, even I'll see bands that I don't like, and I'll be like, but wow, I can tell these people are really passionate.
Yeah, these guys love what they do.
Like, this is awesome. At least doing what they love to do.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there's nothing worse than watching a band that's just trying to please a genre or do something that's not natural to them, or it's certain individuals. Like, I think that's your biggest thing. I think, like, why you do it
Yeah, totally agree. And I must say that you should fuck criticism.
Yes.
First of all, because on the first steps, it may kill you as a musician. So you should overcome those dirty mouths that talk shit about you and your music. And but the most important for me is actually to first of all to learn to play your musical instruments, and then to make tattoos and pay attention to your image and and stuff like that. So, and of course I like those words about working your ass off, and actually for the beginners I think they should make tattoos on their asses or on their hearts. Great words, because you should be very passionate and love this stuff and work like Rihanna saying. work. And what else? That's all, I think, for now.
Well, that's all. We have been talking for, God, nearly 45 minutes. Thank you guys so much. For everyone listening, you can pick up the new Nervosa, Mortillery, and Jinjer records at napalmrecords.com, or for Americans.
Sonia.
We can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Hello up there. Come back to us.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yay!
Okay. So as I was saying, for the American fans, you can pick up all these new records at napalmrecordsamerica.com, or for the European or worldwide fans, you can pick up the new Mortillery, Jinjer, and Nervosa at napalmrecords.com. Thank you guys for coming on so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
It has been great.
Much love.
Aw, thank you. Okay, awesome. Talk to you later.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Nice to meet you, girls.
Thank you.